students. How are you all? Fine? Yes. Today we have to start our geography third lesson, which is already we learned half part in our previous class, right? But today we are going to start other our part that is from the page number 19. See, in this activity we learned in last lecture, that is what we have to do. There is one activity is given and we have to take pressure cooker, pour the water and take the whistles. Okay, when there is a whistle starting, you have to take one lid and just observe that what will happen. After that that whistles, you can see on the lid there is a water droplets. Okay. Next, same other activity is given, that is the in figure 3.6. Here, what we can see, what doing students are doing. They are doing that you have to take one glass, one flat glass, okay, and you have to pour the cubes of ice, and just observe it. Observe that what will happen. See in the page number 20 and here. Can you see here? There is that glass is there and the ice cubes are in that. And you have to observe what is the around or outside of the glass, what you can see. And this activity you can do at home also. It is very easy. You have to take the ice cubes and just drop into that glass and just observe it after 2 to 3 minutes what you observe from that glass. See, in sometimes you will see droplets of water on the outer surface of the glass. That is in figure 3.b. And when the water vapor in the air comes in contact with cool surface, condensation takes place. See, in the first activity, that is at the figure 3.5, there is we can saw the droplets on this lid or water is formed. How it is? The lid does not contain any water, but when we take that lid on the pressure cooker, on the whistles, then you can see there is a water. But how it is? Because this vapors contact with the cool lid and it takes that water vapor converted into the water droplets. Okay. In the second activity, this the see, now there is we put the ice on the glass, in the glass, right? And because of this glass also is coming now that cold. But about the surrounding, whatever the surrounding air with when this contact with this glass, that means with this cool temperature, then it is also that air converted into the water droplets. That means the process of water vapor or air is converted into the water droplets. That process is called the condensation. Okay. When the water vapor in the air comes in contact with cold surface, condensation takes place. These droplets form on outer surface of the glass. In the first activity, the steam from the cooker cooled and condensed into water droplets. In the second activity, the vapor in the air condensed into water droplets. See, water vapor and in the second air, that is contact with, that means the water vapor converted into water droplets, air is converted into the water droplets, and this process is known as the condensation. Now, brief details about the condensations, densification and sublimation. What is that? The process. See, there is now we are talking about the condensations. What is the condensation, densification and sublimation? The process of changing of water vapor in the air into water is called condensation or densification. See, the process of changing water vapor into the water, that process is called the condensation. Okay. Then also the process of vapor changing into solid state is called sublimation. See, what is called the sublimation? The process of vapor that or a gas is converted into the solid. It is called the sublimation. What is the condensation? Vapor into the water. Okay. And sublimation means what? Sublimation means what? The process of converted water vapor into the solid form. It is called the sublimation. That is the two differences in between this. When if the temperature of the air reduces, its vapor holding capacity also reduces. When relative humidity of the air becomes 100%, vapor starts condensing. At this time, the temperature of the air should be at dew point. See, there is a one word you can see there, dew point. What is the dew point? If the temperature of the air reduces, the water vapor observing it is also reduces. Okay. And when relative humidity, we now all of you know what is the humidity, right? Then the relative humidity of the air becomes 100%. Vapor start condensing. That means the air humidity. In the last also we learned when we are taking as the example of the sponge, when the capacity of this sponge is done, okay, over, then it start to start releasing water like that. When the vapor start, when the humidity of the air is 100%, then vapor starts condensing. That means it is vapor started to convert it into the waters. At this time, the temperature of the air should be at dew point, and that temperature is called the dew point. It implies that for condensation temperature should be low and relative humidity must be high. In the free environment, condition of the vapor in air occurs around fine particles, that is the dust, salt, etc. in the air. Okay, that means the condition. What condition vapor is formed? It consists of, or it take in the clouds water, there is some fine particles, right? That we already learned about the dust, fine particles in around us, and that is only accumulated into the cloud. Next, dew, frost and fog are the forms of condition at ground level, while clouds are form of condition at higher elevations. Okay, that means the dew, fog. Many times in winter season we saw the fogs in around the earth. It is the forms of condition but at the ground level. Okay, because there in the we can see this fog in the ground level in near to us in the winter season. So it is also form of condition but in the ground level. And the clouds are, you have you seen the clouds in nearby us? No, it is always the higher level. So it is also, but cloud also form of the condition but at the higher elevation, that is the upside, very high. Okay, next, the cloud and types of clouds. Clouds are form of condition at higher elevations. That already we learned, the clouds are form of condition at the higher elevation, that is it is very high from the earth. Always remember, there is a difference between fog and smoke fog. Smoke fog is made up of vapor in the air only. Smoke is a combination of dust particle of polluted air in the region and fog. See, the fog is made up of by the vapors. Okay, but smoke is made or formed by the dust particles of the polluted air. That's the both difference, the fog and smoke. Then conditions occur around minute particle in the atmosphere. Condensed water or snow particles in the clouds are very fine and almost weightless, and so clouds float in the air. See this, how the clouds is formed is accumulated by the air, vapors, dust particles, okay, fine particles, and this weight is it is very less. So the clouds are easily floating on the high level. Okay, we can see many times if you observe that clouds, we can see they are the floating. So why it is can be floating? Because their weight is very less, their fine particles are there and that weight is less, so they can easily floating. See in the figure 3.7, the raindrop, that is maximum diameter is the what is the maximum diameter of the raindrop? That is the pi mm. Okay. In this figure you can see there is the diameter given what they include the fine particles and condensed water particles in the cloud. Land and water get heated because of the heat of the sun. Air near the surface heats up, rise and becomes less dense. Hot air rises up. As it goes higher, the temperature of the air reduces and the moisture holding capacity of air reduces. See, we already know that the earth is observe the sunlight, okay, and because of the land also became the heat, and because of the land the air near the surface of the earth, that is also getting the heat, right? As it goes, like the temperature is goes the higher the temperature is reduces. The water vapors in the atmosphere turns into water and snow. This is the dew point level of that air. The level of condensation is determined by the water vapor in the air. Keep in mind that freezing point is also depend on the altitude and water vapor. See, the level of the condensation is depend upon the water vapor in the air. As a how much the water vapors in the air, on that condition the condensation is depend. Again, other thing is also that is the freezing point. Freezing point is also depend on the water vapors in the air or the altitude of the water vapor. Because of conditions, fine particles of ice and water float in air at a greater height. They accumulate around dust particles in the air and become large in size. Because of conditions, the fine particles of ice and water float in the air at a greater height. Because of condition only this, the clouds can be, or the particles of the ice can be float on the air. They accumulate around dust particles in the air and become large in size. Their accumulation together is called cloud. As the dust particles of the ice, they are get together, they accumulated together, and what they found, they formed our clouds. Because of vertical flow of wind, they float in atmosphere like a kite which floats. See, we always see that the clouds are always flowing to the on in the air in the upper side, a high level. But why they are always there? Why they are not coming downside by the floating or coming downside on the earth? Why this happen? This is happen because of the vertical flow of the air. Okay, that is the they got the vertical pressure like this, and vertical flow of the air. These clouds are always flowing in the air. Like we can see that our air, if you playing with the kite, whenever you are doing this playing the kite, you can see the kite is also flowing like this, right? Why? Because of the vertical air. Then the page number 21. Can you see there is a picture given low altitude, medium altitude, high altitude, and types of clouds are shown. So you can see there are different types of clouds, and about this now we are going to study. The clouds are found at different altitude above mean sea level. The clouds which form at a greater altitude are formed from very fine snow particles. The process of evaporation and condension occur consequently in the clouds. See, in the clouds, the process of evaporation and condension is a continuously consequently occurring. Okay, and as the clouds are found at different sea levels, as the meaning the at a altitude is different. In different altitude, the clouds we can see that is also different. The proportion of vapor is more near the earth's surface. As we go higher away from the sea level, the amount of vapor decreases. Hence, the clouds at lower altitude are larger in size, and while the clouds at higher altitude are smaller. See the proportion of water vapor. They are the high level at the surface of the ground, and as we go higher, that proportion is also going. It is also decreasing. So that the in a figure we can see there is a how the three altitudes given, and the clouds at lower altitude is are larger in size, and the clouds in a higher altitude there is a smaller in size. Okay. There are clouds. One table is given the cloud types according international classification. There is a type. They are classified that clouds and given the some name. What is their that ranges is from form, that is the general altitude in meters. Clouds are formed at different altitude in the atmosphere. After observation, we can divide these clouds into three main types of the basis of their altitude. On the basis of altitude, see there is a basis are given like the high altitude, then here is the medium, and then here is the low altitude. Okay, according to basis of this altitude, there is a types are given. The height from the base of the clouds is taken into consideration. The height from the base. Okay, this first they are considered. If the clouds are at an altitude of 7,000 to 14,000 m, that is meter, then they are considered as very high clouds. See, there is a ranges is given. First ranges is 7,000 to 14,000 m. If the ranges is 7,000 to 14,000 meter, then it is considered the very high clouds. Okay, they are considered the high clouds. And if they are altitude of around 2,000 to 7,000, that means less than this, then it is considered as the medium clouds. And if they are at the less than 2,000, see here, if the 2,000 to 7,000, then medium, and if the ranges is the less than 2,000, then it is the low clouds. Okay. Then now we are going to study about the high, medium and low clouds. First one is about the high clouds. These clouds are mainly made up of ice particles. These clouds are made up of ice particles. Okay. And they are classified into cirrus, cirrocumulus and cirrostratus. They are the three. They are classified into cirrus, cirrocumulus and cirrostratus. Okay, this high cloud. And the cirrocumulus clouds, the cirrus clouds are mainly wispy. These the cirroclouds are looking like the wispy. Then cirrocumulus clouds look like the group of small waves. How we know there is a waves? Like this, they are looking like the small waves. Which cloud? The cirrocumulus. And next is the cirrostratus. Are like the bedsheet with wrinkle. All of you know the bedsheet, and how when there is a wrinkle on the bedsheet, then how it is looking. The same the about the cirrostratus clouds are also looking. See, you can take the one small clothes like the handkerchiefs also and do the wrinkles on that. How they are looking? It is the same example of the cirrostratus clouds. Then in the medium clouds. Now you understood in the high clouds there is the three. They are divided into three class like the cirrus clouds, cirrocumulus clouds and cirrostratus clouds. Now about the medium clouds. The medium clouds this include altocumulus and altostratus. See that also include the altocumulus and altostratus clouds. Altocumulus are in the form of layer and have a wave-like structure. It is also the form of layers, like the how the layer is formed. It is looking like of the layers and also the wave structure. They have mostly white in color and have a gray shade. See that according to the clouds, they also color is different. How these clouds have the gray color and white color, and it is have the gray shade. Like there is a shade is in the gray color. Altostratus are not very thick. The sun can be seen through them as seen through a milky glass. See the second, that is the altostratus. They are not the thin clouds. So we can easily see the sun from these clouds also. Like whenever we are seeing from the milk, how the milk is seen. By the that from also we can see anything like that. The from the altostratus clouds we can see the sun easily because of their thin. Low clouds. Now third is about the low clouds. They consist of five types of clouds. Now in this there is a three clouds, right? In this two, and now the low clouds consist of the five types. These are the stratocumulus howler. Their color is white to earthy. Round cluster of clouds can be here. Stratus cloud are also howlers. See, there is now different color, different names. That is first is the stratocumulus, and they have the layers. This color is the white to earth. Second is the stratus cloud, also have layers. They are ash colored and their base is uniform. Their base is uniform. Okay, which color they are? Ash colored. And next is the nimbostratus, has the thick layers. They are grey ash in color. See, all the clouds have the different color. One cloud has a white color, other is the ash color, that is the nimbostratus. It is in thick layers and have the grey ash color. Okay, and cause continuous rainfall and even snowfall. That is because of the nimbostratus cloud. It is in thick, it has the grey ash color and it is continuously rainfall. Then next is the cumulus clouds. These clouds are formed extensionally from 500 to 6000 meter altitude. The vertical flow of the air adds to the formation of these clouds, and these are huge and dome shaped. See, the cumulus clouds are ranges of 500, are the ranges from the 500. Okay, and they are in the dome shape. Dome shape means like this. They are in like the dome shape. The cumulus clouds are indicator of pleasant weather. See, the cumulus clouds, that means because of these clouds our nature is like the pleasant weather when we feel very nicely, right? The vertical expanse of these clouds increase so much that they turn into cumulonimbus clouds and bring rain. Because of these clouds, that how the clouds increase, so it is converted into the cumulonimbus clouds, and it is a reason or cause of the rain. The cumulonimbus clouds. These are the characteristic clouds which are indicators of thunderstorm. See, there are the different types. For the rainfall there is a different cloud. For the thunderstorm there is a different clouds. Now it is the cumulonimbus clouds which is the characteristic for the thunderstorm. This look like a huge mountain. It is very huge. It is look like the huge mountain, and these are dense and dark in color. There is a thunder accompanied by lightning. They bring rain with storm and may sometimes bring hailstorm. But such type of rain does not last long. See, this is the cumulonimbus clouds. Now we come to know why there is a thunder, lightning. It is because of the cumulonimbus clouds. As they are big in size, huge in size, it is look like the mountain. That the dark color, and because of that only there is a lightning is formed, thunders are formed, and they bring rain with the storm, and sometimes there is a, we can see there is a particles also in storm also. Okay, that is also because of the cumulonimbus cloud. So in the figure 3.9 you can see there is how it is very big in size. There is a lightning also we can see. The largest of these clouds bring rainfall accompanied with lightning. The top portion of these clouds have an anvil-like shape, and the clouds have positive charge at the upper end and negative charge at the lower end. The land below them always have negative charge. Due to the difference in the charge, the electric charges are formed and lightning occurs. See, in this figure you can see there is a upside, there is a positive charge. Then again down there is a positive charge you can see, and here also negative charge. So because of this charge, as a positive charge is formed, negative charge is formed, and because of this charge there is a lightning is formed. The air, the air around the lightning rises up because of the heat, and this leads to large thundering sound. And as this charge, or because of this lightning, the air surrounding this clouds, it is also getting the heat, and it takes the form of big thundering or the huge thundering sound. We can see how many times very big sound is there, large sound, and so it is very terrible for us. As compared to other clouds, the raindrops of these clouds are larger because they move up and down a lot of times and accumulate more and more water. Drops become larger and larger and are able to float in the clouds because of their weight. They fall in the form of rain. Sometimes the air in the clouds is very cold. As a result, these drops freeze and fall in the form of hail. See, compared to other clouds, many times it what happens that in that cloud only that water vapors, that water drops are condensed, or they are just stopped. They are in the clouds only because of the vertical flow of the air, and the vertical flow of the air, these water droplets are stopped in the clouds only. But when there is a more and more condensed, as the water droplets gaining the more weight, okay, so it is not possible for the clouds to hold that water droplet. So it is coming in the big size, the water droplet coming in big size to the our earth, and because of that the surrounding climate or surrounding air also becoming the cold, right? And because of this coolness, that water droplets just take the form of ice, that is the hail, and this is the reason of the hailstorm. That why, how it is the hailstorm coming, that is the reason, as the water droplets become in the freeze because of the cool surrounding, and it is coming in the form of hailstorm. Now I think you understood very well how it is the hailstorm is also coming, how thundering is there, right? Page number 23. Do you know? The cloud burst is a type of precipitations. Raindrops coming towards the earth are stopped in the cloud itself because of strong vertical winds. This drops change into the hail. This makes the cloud heavier. The vertical winds are unable to bear this weight, and this leads to heavy rainfall which lasts its hail. This is called cloud burst. It leads to rainfall more than 100 mm and in a small area of particles region. This type of precipitation mainly occurs in mountains region. See, the cloud burst, most of the for the more amount, the cloud rainfall is going on, and it is mostly happen in the mountain area. Okay, and this when there is a rainfall is about the 100 or more than 100 mm, this is called the cloud burst. Now, and where it is mostly happen, the stratus through which the Himalaya ranges pass experience such a type of rainfall, where at the Himalaya ranges, as there is a mountain and hill station, or it is part in the high to the mountain. I hope you understood all this lesson about the humidity and clouds. Now just read it and again through on it.